Welcome to the Hire Me Lewis program. My name is Louis C. Perez. I feel it'd be really good for us to get started with a quick little introduction. First, quick show of hands. Anyone have any idea for who I am, what I do, or what the hell I'm even doing here? Well, aside from the people I've already met before. There's nothing better than being the new face in a room full of random college students I've never met before. So, I have been an executive recruiter at a global firm. Different from most recruiters, I was referred to as a full desk. Most kids graduate, they go into recruiting, they'll go to like a tech systems or something to that effect, and they have to recruit all day to find candidates to fill roles. But working at Ronstadt Professionals, I have the luxury of running a full desk. That means I do everything from corporate business development, active account management, and technical recruiting. So I run talent acquisition from A to Z. And I've been able to make a living now helping businesses define what they consider the most ideal talent for their human capital, accounting, and finance needs. However, today's message is more of a generalist platform that applies to everyone's backgrounds. So even if you don't know accounting and finance, this can still be very valuable to you. I'm the active member in the business community. Is anyone here familiar with what the Beacon Council stands for? Anyone here know what the Beacon Council is? That makes me really worried, but it's okay. So the Beacon Council is the economic development agency of Miami. We are responsible for bringing new businesses into our city every single year. Most recently, we were the ones that drafted the proposal that went out to Jeff Bezos regarding moving Amazon's headquarters down here to Miami. So we're pretty involved, and I'm going to highly encourage you all to be more involved moving forward. Luckily, I've had the luxury of getting connected with the e-boards at your organization, so I will be able to give you more invites and get you more connected in the business community. Next to that, I am a University of Florida Go Gators. That's just me. Don't hate me. I'm here for you. It's all love. And today is about finding your type. Just imagine that. I've made a living out of helping businesses define the most ideal talent for their positions, right? To grow their companies, matching their culture and the technical skills required to perform those responsibilities. Today is about re-engineering that process and giving the power to you, the candidates, giving you the insight and the direction to hunt down the most competitive opportunities in your market of interest. So, when we're looking for opportunities, quick show of hands, where are you guys going? Where are you guys looking? Just whenever you're looking for a job, where are you going to go? Can I see? Yes. LinkedIn is a good place to start. That's good. Something else? Anyone else? Handshake. It'd be really hard to find a job in a handshake, but a handshake does tend to lead to a job. That's good, though. You're on the right track. Oh, okay. Well, I didn't go to UM. Sorry about that. You'd have to expand. I thought you literally just meant I'm just going to walk up, shake someone's hand, and now I got a job. I'll say I wish it was that easy. But I'm glad the handshake exists. I can imagine that's some form of career services portal.
Yeah, it's like through the school. So.
That's perfectly good. That's great. And another one. Give me another one. Because here's the thing. That's good, but everyone's drinking from that well at the same time, and it might run dry. Where are we going to go?
Indeed.
Indeed is a great to play. Indeed, of course. Indeed is a great job tool. Honestly, every single business is using Indeed right now to post its jobs. And even in the event that they aren't, Indeed is still finding those job postings and funneling them into their page. So they have, yes?
I was just going to say classifieds as well.
Classifieds is a place to go, absolutely. But you know what? What if we wanted to be on the front end of the most competitive and exciting opportunities with the most exciting businesses in our community? How are we going to find them?
Talk to the recruiter at that company.
You could talk to a recruiter. But I think we can get beyond a recruiter. How are we going to know that that job exists before it even gets posted? That's what this game is about. As an executive recruiter, that's where I make my living. I find out what the company needs before it's ever even posted to fill that role before it even hits the site. Odds are the majority of the applications you guys have sent out, those roles have been filled and long since filled before you even applied. But as part of a formality with a lot of Fortune 100s and Fortune 500s, they have to post them anyways. So how are we going to find the most exciting opportunity? Yes? How are you going to find that internship program? Remember, I'm telling you that this isn't even posted. I'm telling you to think outside the box. You guys are literally the most brilliant business students, well, not all business students, but the most brilliant students in South Florida. This is a top 50 rated university. Give it to me. Go for a colleague. That's a wonderful way to start. But what you guys have all missed and has gone completely over your heads is that you start with the news. Jesus Christ. You pick up South Florida Business Journal. What business is growing? What business is making an acquisition? Who just got a monster line of credit? They're due to expand. That is who you need to go to because you know they're about to enter a very exciting period, and that's why it's being publicized all across the media. So that's where you start. As a recruiter, that's what I'm looking for. I'm trying to see what business is about to grow, and then I'm calling them and presenting my services because I want to get ahead of the competition. I don't want to compete with anyone because I'm the first to show up. A quote that I live by is that without presence, you have no influence. So you have to be present for the opportunity. But if everyone else is present at the same time, you might not get the same shot. So, news reports, employment classifieds, advertisements. I mean, that just goes hand in hand with news. Businesses are investing in their advertising because it makes them attractive, not only to other businesses, but to you, the human capital, the people who are going to drive those operations moving forward. Go figure that Nike has advertisements all over the world that we all want to go work at Nike. It's because it's an attractive brand. So help wanted signs, I mean, to be quite honest, I feel like you guys are a little more talented than help wanted signs. It's typically going to go in front of a Subway, but if you need to make cash while you're working in school, I'm not going to judge you. On to the next. So this is about knowing your worth. You know, it's just show of hands, who here has had an internship in their field of choice? So about 50% of the room? Congratulations. You've had exposure, and exposure defines potential. Having had that internship already gives you a very long, you are just so much more valuable to the businesses right off rip because you don't have to be trained. You're a valued hire. You hit the ground running today. There's no coaching you on Excel because you've already been through this show before. You already had that learning curve. Now, show of hands, how many of you haven't had that internship? Or maybe your Excel isn't as strong and maybe you don't feel as competitive as a talent for the opportunities you're trying to get in with? Anybody? That seems like the majority of the room. Well, guess what, my friends? You don't have to feel worried. Because when you look in the mirror, if you're believing in the person that you see, that's all you need. Businesses do not hire graduating college students because of what they're going to produce right here, right now, because we're expecting you to fail time and again. That's why there's going to be a learning curve. That's why there is onboarding training. That's why you have to go through so many different mentorship programs when you enter these companies because you're expected to fail. But they're not hiring you for the failures of today. They're hiring you for the victory you're going to bring in the next 5 to 10, 15 years. What you could produce, what you could become, who you will be in the future. That is why businesses invest in you. That's why they take an opportunity on you. You're an up-and-comer. It does not matter that your Excel is not that strong. It does not matter that you didn't have a 4.0 GPA. If you have hunger and desire that burns in your veins, and you are at this school cramming for your exams, slicing through your tests one after the other, you are an up-and-comer. And they love you for that. They want you. They all do. I know because this is how I make a living. Don't take my word for it. It's not my assumption or my opinion. I don't think you're good looking. Oh, let's give him a job. False. I know that you're talented. I know you have potential. And you're all going to be making an asinine amount of money in the next 3 years. Or 4, depending on how fast you're going to graduate. And then it brings us to the last equation. If you have had the internships, and you have hunger, you have ambition, you have desire, you're involved, you have good grades, and you've done everything, you are a God-given rock star, my people. I swear to God, businesses are dying to find you. They are dying. They are paying me to find you. I've made entry-level hires for private banks before. Guess what? That's a $15,000 check just to find you. 5-figure fee minimum. That's what my market's like. That's how I make my living. I'm a broker. And if I can make $15,000 presenting you as a talent, imagine how valuable you become to the business when you're presenting yourselves. South Florida as a marketplace has a market cap greater than $220 million year over year operating revenue just for staffing fees. Recruiters just like me are producing $220 million worth of business here. And I'm telling you to undercut all of us. Because no matter how cool my branding is, no matter how smooth that sound on the phone, if you call in and present yourself hungry, ambitious, and free, I don't even have a chance. I can't compete with you. You're the hottest product in the market. Everyone's trying to buy it. So, future. So, when we're talking about making an approach, we know that there is an opportunity that exists in the market. We're interested in getting connected with it. We want to make an approach. Where do we start? Show of hands. Who are you connecting with first? You know the opportunity exists. Who are you reaching out to? Yes? Representatives from the school? That's one place to start, but it's not the most valuable. Where is the first place you start when you're trying to find a job? Where do you start? I'm not going to advance until someone gives me something. Where are you looking? Show of hands. You seem like a nice guy. Where are you going to look for a job? Who are you going to reach out to when you need a job?
I guess a good place to start is, colleagues, see what people are talking about, see what's going on.
Oh, colleague is absolutely right. Congratulations. Listen, at the end of the day, it's like they said in every sitcom or every movie you saw leading up to this point in your life. It's not necessarily about the grades you made as much as it was about the hands you shaked. Start with someone you know because they can speak on your behalf. You aren't just some black and white resume to them. You are a living, breathing person as a part of their life. And when they go to their boss, they're going to say, listen, you got to give John the job because John is the shit. Hey, the whole reason I'm here is because he passed my exams for me. You got to give him a shot. Start with who you know. But now we advance. We're beyond who we know. We reached out to them. We got connected that way. There's an opportunity that exists out there, and I don't have a colleague in that job or in that business. who am I reaching out to? Where does it start? Where do you start to make this impression felt that you want to be here? Anyone? Show of hands. I like your red tie. Red ties mean a lot to me,
Thank you.
if you can't tell by now. Where would you start?
I guess also through, I'd reach out to people that I know and see if they know.
No, we already got past colleagues. So now this is cold. This is ice cold. This is Antarctic right now. This is sub-zero. This is ice age with the little squirrel chasing the nuts. Where are you going?
Cold calling, cold emailing,
Go, who?
in the HR department.
How many of you in here would be reaching out to the HR department? Show of hands. Be getting connected with HR or with a recruiter?
Alumni.
No. This isn't, I'm not debating it. I'm just asking. Like, how many of you would go to HR or to some recruiter to get connected with the business? Hands. All of you, hands. We got hands. Okay. How many of you, by a quick show of hands, are applying for jobs in HR? Surprise. So, we're trying to get connected with the business. We have nothing to do with HR. And I'm not disrespecting HR. Listen, I understand that HR is a formality and you have to work with them, you have to get connected. Hell, I make a living because of HR. HR is my best friend. But you aren't here to build business. You are here to sell yourself to an opportunity. So when you're selling yourself to an opportunity, it is critical, it is imperative, it is so damn important that you start building visibility at the top of that business. This isn't an assumption, this isn't an opinion. I'm pretty connected in the community, like I just told you. Back in June, I had the pleasure of interviewing 5 CEOs at Turn the Tables event, which I'm going to bring the e-board along to for the next one. I asked all 5 CEOs, I said, how would you respond to an ambitious and talented undergrad calling you at your desk and presenting themselves for an opportunity that was available at your job? You had an opening in your company. How would you respond? The answers, two-parted, and across the board, all of them were uniform. A, floored. No way in hell, Lewis. There's no way I'd ever expect a college student to be reaching me at my desk. Second, if they did, 110% guarantee them that interview. Because if they have that capacity, that confidence, that follow-through to reach me, and I'm hard to reach, to just say hi, introduce themselves for an opportunity, I want to see what that person can do for my company. No promise of a job, you still got to present yourself, you still got to win the interview, but you got your foot in the door. And as an executive recruiter, this is how I do business. I call the very, very, very top, and I start and I work my way down. So who's next? If the CEO, the MD, the Prez doesn't answer, who are you talking to right after this? Come again? Vice President. And when you introduce yourself to that Vice President, what are you going to say? Let's just fast forward along a little bit. So you're going to VP, manager, and then you go HR, if nothing else works. You have to start there. Who's ready for role play? Come on! Look alive, look excited. I know it's Monday and you're tired, but let's have a role play. Who wants to be the employer? I'll be the candidate. I'll make it as easy as possible for you. You showed up late, so I want you to start. So you are the employer. What's your name again?
Alex.
Alex is the director, he's the CFO of ABC Corp. Cool? So you said Alex?
Yep.
Okay. Ring.
Ring, ring, ring. Hello?
Hi, Alex. This is Luis Perez. I'm a graduating senior in finance from the University of Miami. How are you doing today?
Great. How are you doing, Luis?
I'm having a wonderful day, Alex. I'm glad that things are going well on your end as well. I was calling because I recognized that there was an opening for an analyst in your department. I was interested in presenting myself for that opportunity. How would you suggest I do so?
I think you should reach out to our head of hiring in finance and we'll get to work on that.
That's it. That's it. This little exchange produces $220 million in South Florida every single year. Ronside Professionals as a whole, where I work right now, produces over $25 billion a year. And this is all it takes. This quick little interaction is not difficult. Hi, how are you doing? And then in the event that, Alex is busy and he's the CFO, I'm going to the VP. What's your name? Again?
Adam.
What?
Adam.
Adam. So Alex is busy, you're the VP, right? I'll show you how this call goes down. You ready for a little role play? Sure. Okay. Ring.
Hello.
You didn't even let it ring. I'm teasing you. Hi. Hi, Adam. This is Luis Perez. I'm a graduating senior in finance from the University of Miami. I was calling to follow up with Alex. However, he's not available today. How's your day going?
It's good. How are you?
That's it. Now, what seems very simple and you might have missed is the power of that name drop. Because you have to imagine that if I called Alex and the CFO didn't answer, but now I'm calling the VP and I'm telling the VP I was calling to follow up with Alex, he has a reason to believe I have a pre-existing relationship. He doesn't know what the CFO has in store for me, but I'll tell you what, he's sure as shit not gonna look bad to that CFO. So whatever the hell I'm asking him, he's gonna be incentivized to help me at the fullest extent of his capacity. That is the power of a name drop, my friends. And it can be just that simple. I'm so glad that people picked up pens and started writing things down. But it's that simple. Just imagine like if you're HR and you're just some admin and you're processing the resumes and all of a sudden an email comes in and it was CC'd with the CFO. How fast are you gonna move then? Your whole livelihood is at stake right then. Thanks for joining us, everybody. No, you're perfectly fine. File in. We're just getting started. You missed the role play, but we're gonna come back to this. So once we know how to get connected, we're gonna swipe right all damn day like it's fucking Tinder just hit in 2013. There's hot people in my dorm. Like that is it. Once you know how you're introducing yourself, you know who you're going for, you're gonna call all of them. This is to go for absolutely everyone. The only way you know what the market has to offer is if you're exposed to everything the market has to offer. But if you're waiting on getting callbacks from some little application that's being funneled through 5,000, 6,000 different resumes, I mean, I'll tell you what, let's put things in perspective. As a recruiter, I get to make posts at free will for jobs. If I make a posting right now for staff accountant, financial analyst, within 5 business days, I'm gonna have 800 applications with everyone from the McDonald's fry cook to the people washing the floors at Live. Like it's everyone. It's an information overload. I'm telling you to bypass that entire process. Pick up your damn phone and you call, you make one introduction. I promise you that you make enough dials and it's gonna hit. Again, I wouldn't be speaking anything from off an assumption or an opinion. I can tell you that back in February of 2015, I had recently just came back from Austria. I knew I was born to be a headhunter, and it was my God-given dream to work in Miami because I'm a small town kid from Port St. Lucie, and this is the bright lights I was always chasing. I wanted to be a king, but I couldn't afford coming here, so I went to UF. Anyhow, I knew I wanted to be here. I pulled up a list of triple diamond rated staffing agencies, probably like 20 or so firms on that list. I cold called all of them, and I can tell you that the first 14 all laughed in my face. I'm sorry, Junior, have you ever done business-to-business sales? No, but I'm at this university. Hey, do you have a network down here? Are you from South Florida? No, I'm actually from Port St. Lucie, but I'm really interested in getting started. Hey, we have 300% turnover. What makes you think you're gonna last? And that's one I'll never forget. And I just kept presenting myself time and time again, laughing and hanging up on me until the day that my boss answers the phone. He says, Louis, what's this call in reference to? What's this about? He says, and I tell him, I was like, well, it's simple. I'm graduating senior in finance. I studied at the University of Florida. I've interned in a headhunting agency. I'm familiar with your business model. I understand operations. I'm interested in presenting myself for an opportunity. Louis, that's damn vague. I don't know what the hell you're talking about. What are you calling? You to apply to something? What are you calling me about? Eric, I'm going to work for you or one of your competitors. I'd like to know what availability you have for next week. And he goes silent. And I'm like, here comes the laughs. I'm about to get turned down again. And he starts laughing. He says, dude, that's the ballsiest damn thing I've ever heard in my life. I've worked here for 4 years and no one's tried this shit before. I'll tell you what, I'll give you an interview if we aren't gonna hire you for our team, I'll help you get placed somewhere else with one of our clients. That's more than I could ask for. Just give me a date and a time. The rest is history. I've been there for over 2.5 years. I beat 300% turnover every single time. I train individuals that lead me by 10 years in experience. But I know what the hell I'm talking about. This is what I do. It was my passion. It was my dream to be here, and I got there. And I'm telling you that if you apply what I'm telling you right now, you could have the same success in your own respect. That said, how many of you here are familiar with the term ERM? Anyone? Show of hands? Well, I'm glad no hands went up because I created that term in October. Unless you're a genie, there's no way you know what the hell I'm talking about. This stands for Employer Relationship Management. Real simple. When you're reaching out, when you're trying to get connected, it's important that you track everything that you're doing. Because what doesn't get tracked doesn't get improved. Am I right? Everything you're doing, you're constantly being tested. You're constantly trying to see how you can grow, how you can get closer to what you really want. So we're going to track just a few key items. This is all it takes. Date, company, phone, source, where you found that lead. Did it come from the newspaper? Did it come from an ad? Did you see them in TV? Did a friend tell you about them? Just write down how you found it. And then who you're reaching out to, the contact name. And a quick little note on how the conversation went. You know what? If you call into a business, you don't speak Spanish, and all they want to do is talk to you in Spanish over the phone, you might want to write in that note, I don't speak their language. And then you're not going to call them again. It can be that simple. But you want to also have it tracked because let's say I have a conversation with them and they're like, oh, I'm not available right now because I'm doing X, Y, and Z. Can you call back on this date? That's my note. Now when I call them back, I'm going to say, hey, how'd it go with X, Y, Z? I remember when you were doing that. You didn't have time for me. Is this a better time? Simple as that. You're not being annoying. I know a lot of you think it's like, oh, well, maybe I'm being pushy. Well, just know that I'm calling them with a fee attached. Find assurance in that. It's a minimum 5 figures, or at least an average. So you calling in, they're pretty damn happy to hear from you. Imagine all 5 CEOs I interviewed all said the same exact thing. I would love for them to call me because it's impossible to find them in the first place. Playing the field. So here's another thing. I can imagine that a lot of you, just by show of hands, how many of you are curious to know, like, how are you going to find these people? Is that something that concerns you? Yeah, that's pretty challenging, right? It's like, Lewis, you want me to call, and that sounds all great, but who the hell am I talking to, and how am I going to find them? Well, it's simple. Let's go back, the most routine example, the most traditional answer, traditional thought process, we're going to go on Indeed, and we're going to type in analyst. We'll find the opportunity. Or account executive, whatever the case might be for the position. Right underneath that position, that job description, that title for the job, you're going to see the company name. I want you to copy and paste onto a LinkedIn search engine. When you hit copy and paste, you're going to find the company profile. You're going to click on that. On the company profile, there's this thin little tab, and it says employees that work here. Lo and behold, you click that little tab, you have a visual directory of everyone that works inside that business. Now you know who the director is. Now you know who the MD is. Now you know who the VP is. And you can contact all of them at free will because no one is stopping you. That's how I make a living, at least. So playing the field. There's 2 ways we can go about this. You know, you could either, A, go to an event. I would always encourage you to push forward for an event because in person, you're invincible. You're talented, you're young. Hell, the majority of you all in here are attractive. There's no reason why people wouldn't be excited to meet you. I can tell you, I go to a networking event, and my choice is either talk to this bright young undergrad or talk to an 80-year-old banker. Not dissing the banker, but he's just not as cool, in my opinion. So go out to events. You're well-dressed, you're good, you're polished, you know your shit. You're here to have fun. And you're not going out there spitting a resume. Hi, my name is John. I'm a senior in finance, and I've done this X, Y, and Z internship, and I did good on my last. No, that's not the case. That is not. You do that, get the hell out of here because you're driving me crazy. I'd rather watch paint dry. It's as simple as, hey, how's it going? Hi, Mackenzie. My name is Luis Perez. What brings you to this event?
Oh, hi. I'm just here. Okay.
No. I was opening it up. I'm opening it up. It's cool. But no, it's simple. It's simple as that. Just, hi, how are you doing? How's your day been? Nothing out of the ordinary. I build business this way. Like legit. I go out to an event, talk to someone, shits and giggles 5-10 minutes. Hey, so how you guys like filling your roles? And boom, we have a client meeting. And then next I have a contract and then I have a fee. That's the cycle. It's not that hard. But doing it in person is a lot more effective than doing it over the phone because I'm never going to reach you and you never want to answer. And when I do answer, you can just hang up on me. But guess what? In person, Adam, I can't hang up on you because you're not a phone, baby. You're talking, you're breathing. So I got to deal with you. There's no other way around it. No one's going to be smug and be like, oh, get away from me. Undergrad, That's not real life. That's not how it works. Just imagine fast forward 5 years. How would you feel if some little undergrad was walking up to you saying, hey, how's your day going? Be like, oh shit, look at this cool kid. He's got great GPA. He's got good teeth. Why don't you come work for me? It could be that simple. It really can be. And I've had experiences like that. Now, we're talking about making these calls. Smile and dial. It is so imperative that you always smile. When we're interviewing, when we're presenting ourselves for a role, we're selling ourselves to that opportunity. You need to be oozing interest. You need to be expressing interest to the nth degree, because if you don't, I will. And guess who they're going to like more? Imagine you met 2 people today. If I could just clone myself and just replicate myself and just be like, hi, my name is Luis Perez, graduating senior in finance from University of Florida. Versus, hi, my name is Luis Perez, graduating senior in finance from University of Florida. The difference in my pitch is minimal, but the difference in my results over an extended period of time, exponential, my friends. This business where I work, Smile and Dial, we live by this. This is the code. This is the first page in the Bible for my life. This marathon, remember, like I said earlier, people are not going to answer. It took me 14 no's to find one yes. But the rest is history, and now I'm in the career I always dreamed of being, doing exactly what I've always dreamed of doing. I build business with everyone. My smallest client's a $10 million real estate trust. My largest client is a multi-billion-dollar cruise liner. And I've done that at the humble age of 25. Hell, I started this game when I was 22. You can imagine what it was like when I was calling in to bring in my first CEO. He walks in and is like, I'm sorry, you're Luis Perez? Yes, indeed. It's nice to meet you. And I had a man bun back then. I had to cut it off. Don't want to do that in corporate America. I learned by experience. 2 approaches. So 2 generalist approaches. I'm going to die. No, I'm not. So first one with Alex. Hey, how's it going? How's your day been, right? I'm an easygoing, small talk. What's up? How you doing? Next. This is why I said you guys are getting back to the role play. Go for the jugular. Be aggressive, be forward, be direct. This is who I am, this is what I want, this is why I need it, and this is how it's gonna happen. Because this is what it is. And you could be that person. Listen, this is about who you identify as. I'm not telling you to be one or the other. It's whoever you choose to be. because that's your profile. That's the culture you're going to fit, you're going to match with the best. Now, if you are direct, you are forward, and you're like that, you're pressing, you want to find a business where they do that, where they will reciprocate your energy. Guess what? If you're a super easygoing guy, you're calling to this business full of cutthroat type A's, they're not going to like you. But it's okay, because you shouldn't like them. They're not like you either. Now, in the event that you're a direct, cutthroat, straight up guy, and you reach out and they're like that too, you're going to have rapport in less than 10 seconds. I swear you're going to get an opportunity. I know because I did it back in February of 2015. That's the type of business I called into. That's how I presented myself. So who's ready for an example? Who wants to be the employer when I'm going for the throat? Show of hands. Thank you so much. Red ties attract red ties. So, what was your name again?
Charles.
Charles. Ring, 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 ring.
Hello.
Hi, Charles. This is Luis Perez, graduating senior in finance out of the University of Miami. I was calling because I'd recognized that there was an opening for an analyst in your finance department. I was interested in presenting myself for the opportunity. How would you suggest I get connected?
Hello.
That's it. That's it. Like when I tell you I'm aggressive, I'm going for the throat, I'm making this so angry, so aggressive. I just didn't stop talking. That's the only real difference. How's it going? Thanks for joining the show. I just cut straight to it. No bullshit. Hey, I'm calling. You have an opening. I'm talented. I'm a finance major. I'm at UM, top 50 school in the country. You need me. I didn't say it like that, but I presented myself for the opportunity, didn't I? It's on him. I'm going to get a yes or a no. But guess what? I'm not going to be waiting, hoping and praying. Oh my God, please, if I submit this application, maybe I'm going to get a call back. No, because I'm going to have the answer now. I'm not waiting for a response. That's reactive. I'm being proactive. I'm being clinical, I'm being defined, and I'm being precise at exactly who I'm reaching out to, why I'm reaching out to them, and what opportunities I'm interested in. And that's what gives me the competitive advantage over the entire God-given community. And as soon as you start understanding how that works, you are going to beat out every single college in America for the opportunities that you want. Think about how powerful that is. You're not waiting on an answer, you're making them answer. And always be closing. So it's like, oh, Louis, like your examples, they're too easy, right? It's like, you just call someone answers and all of a sudden they want to work with you? That sounds too easy, right? That's not how it works. And you're cool, you're right. You can't, hi, how's it going? Thank you for joining us. You can think that way. However, the point is you're going to get objections. Objections are going to come. Guess what? I'm a busy man. I make a lot of money. I got a lot of shit going on. I don't want to deal with you sometimes. Maybe I'm busy. But that's okay because I'm not going to let up. I know what I came for. I know the ad I saw. I know the advertisement I saw. I saw you guys got $400 million in a line of credit from Morgan Stanley. I know that there is business here, and I know you need my skills because somewhere in that business, there is a need. So we're always going to be overcoming those objections, always presenting ourselves to the nth degree, right? So what are some common objections we'll be facing? Overcoming the objection. First one, right off the top. I'm too busy for this right now. How many of you give up? How many of you don't know what to say after this? How many of you worried about what you're going to say when they tell you that they're too busy? What are you going to say next? Anybody haven't? Yes?
Oh, I was worried. I raised my hand because I was worried. I was like, I'm worried.
Okay. You're cool. Huh?
When are you free?
Exactly. More importantly, you know what, John? I'm sorry to bother you right now. I respect that you're very busy. I'm in front of my calendar. Please suggest what's the best date and time for me to reach you. Let's pencil it in right now. What's your email? I'm going to send you a Google invite while I'm at it. We're both going to have it on our calendars. That way we don't miss. And they're going to respect that because that's how they do business. Everything once you become a professional is tied down to the last minute. I'll tell you what, if you look at my calendar, it's literally just color-coded nonsense. It's crazy. But that's how I have to live my life because I have so many things taking place at the same time. So get to it. Close down to what you want. Give me a date and a time in front of my calendar. I'll send you the invite right now. I'm not playing games. And they're like, oh, I'm too busy for this. Oh, I'll get back to you. Hold on, let's get there. We're not hiring. How many of you are stumped? You think you're stumped? You're stumped? You don't know what else to say, right? Anybody have any idea what they're going to do in this position? Any? Yes.
For a client who's hiring?
Ask for a client. Well, that's creative. That's out of the box, and I respect that. I like that. That takes confidence. I respect confidence. Hands in the back?
Why aren't you hiring?
Why aren't you hiring? Challenge them. That's one way to look at it. That's fine. How about this? More importantly, maybe they're saying they just hired someone, right? They have someone. Listen, we already found our candidate. The search is over, and we're done. I'll take it one step further. Oh, that's great, John. I'm glad to hear that you found somebody for the position. Please suggest when do they start? Excuse me? No, seriously, their start date. When do they start? Why does it matter? John, you know as well as I do that in today's market, anything could happen. But You never know what's going to happen. So what's the date? What's the time? When are they going to be there? Because when they don't show up, I want you to think of me first. I want to be calling you to see how that professional is performing. Because I am that much more hungry for this opportunity than anyone else in this market. And I'm not going to let up until it's the last straw. The very last straw. And with your livelihood that's hanging in the balance, why wouldn't you, right? Think about that risk. You don't push forward, you don't make that extra phone call, and then you settle for something. And you never have another shot. Or maybe you don't have another shot for a few years, but you wasted time. Think about the opportunity cost of not being aggressive, not being forward, and not being direct with what you want. I'm telling you it works because I make a living this way at a very young age. Send me your resume via email, right? Everyone's like, yes, we got it! We got the email, right? Everyone's excited. This is an objection. Why is this an objection? Go ahead.
Because maybe they look at it, but also maybe they just never open it.
Or maybe it's deleted, or maybe it goes to the spam folder, or maybe it just gets blocked by their firewall. I know the director of business processes at Carnival Cruise Lines. That woman burns over 500,000 emails in her firewall every God-given day of the week. So what makes you think you're going to make it past it? This is not good enough. So when they tell you this rap sheet, what are you going to fire back with? What comes next? Fax number? That would work in the 70s. Someone else?
I'd be happy to, but let's also schedule that interview.
That's good. That's very forward. I like that. Well, I wasn't going to go with that, but we could always try that. Go ahead.
I was going to say, when would be a better time to go back to talk about the rest?
Well, we already used that we already used that before, so let's stay on the creative track. Someone else?
How about you let me know when you're available in person and I can come hand you the resume in person?
Right there and then. And we're not allowed to have you for any more answers because you had this show before anyone else. But yes, exactly. You know what? I'm so glad. Listen, Alex, I'm so glad that you took interest in my candidacy. I'll tell you what, I'm going to be in front of your office next week. What's the best date and time for me to go give you the resume in person? I just want you to know who I am. What about that? It takes less than 5 minutes for me to walk in and shake hands. Hey, how's it going? Hey, Max, my name is Luis Perez. Here's my resume. Cool?
Cool.
I look forward to staying in touch. In person, you are invincible. In sales, the most important metric is, at least in my world, is a client visit. When I'm in front of you, we are doing business. When I'm over the phone, you can hang up at any God-given minute. We could lose connection in the office, and that's it. It's over. No more negotiating, no more talking. And who knows if I'm ever going to get you available again because you're so damn busy. So, send me the email. Tell me when. Enron hasn't been in business for over 15 years. If someone gives you this screwball of an answer, you might want to hang up because I think they're a little loopy. I don't know why that's there, but it is. This is handled by HR. So I just gave you this whole song and dance about how we're going to go past HR, but if we're funneled to HR, we're funneled to HR. That's it. We have to respect the business process. We have to respect their system. We want to get a foot in the door. We're not going to tell them how to operate their businesses. So if they say HR, that's wonderful, but what are you going to fire back with? Hands? You've been pretty quiet, but you look engaged.
I have no clue.
You have no clue. It's okay. How about you?
I would say, could you give me the contact information of the person in HR?
Yes, you can, because what did we just address earlier? The power of that name drop. Power of that name drop. You know what, John? I'm so glad this is handled by HR. Please suggest who in HR I could get in contact with regarding this opportunity. Because the moment I call them, hey, yeah, I just got off the phone with Alex, the CFO of the business. He told me to get in touch with you regarding this analyst role. I was curious to know how soon we could schedule an interview. The person on the other end of that line is like, when are you available? let's do this now. There's a fire under everyone's ass when I drop that line. This shit's coming from the top. This is not just some random undergrad trying to get a foot in the door. No, the CFO, your boss's boss, yeah, they want me. So how does this happen? How does this work? Again, giving them the incentive to believe that I already have that relationship. I already made it happen. And in this case, it's actually tangible because I was funneled there in the first place. This is securing the bag, right? This is corporate America. We're trying to get paid. No one works for free. I mean, if you go nonprofit, that's totally cool. I completely respect community service. But you still need to earn a living. There's bills to pay. And you can't pay them with IOUs. That shit doesn't work when you graduate. So, you've done everything you needed to. You reached out, you got connected, you closed to the interview. Now you're going to prepare for that interview. And this does not take long. This is not a time to write your dissertation. This isn't a thesis. This isn't the final exam. You're not giving me a structured 15-page response. No. Preparing for an interview is very quick. It's very simple. It should not take you longer than 40 minutes. This is how I build business. This is how I prepare to go meet the CFO, go meet the CEO, and talk to them about what's going down. Never more than 40 minutes. If I spent more than 40 minutes, what the hell am I even studying? Like, what am I trying to find their social security? Like, there's not that much stuff to really go over. You cover current events, mission statement, this is your company profile, this is what you do. Cool, this is how you make money. Now I know everything I really need to know. And we'll get deeper into that, right? Because we have setting the mood. The way I feel about this, this is a meeting. This is a personal exchange. And hopefully we're developing a relationship that I'll be able to come back and work for this company. So I need to be prepared. I gotta be smooth, I gotta be dapper. I can't just pull up wearing, Nike socks and jean shorts. That's not the way it works. So first thing, we're gonna research the company. Quick 10, 15 minutes. Get on Google, type in the company name, type in the location you're interested in going to work for. If it's Miami, you know what, that's Lennar, Miami, Google, done. Click news, be surprised how many current events come up. Dozens of things for you to talk about. Imagine that this conversation might not last longer than 60 minutes. You really don't need that many things to talk about. It's not about, width, it's about depth. How deep can you get in a conversation about any given topic? So find a topic that's compelling, something that stands out to you, and then question them about that. Ask them about it. Let them express themselves. Listen, I'll tell you what, the more the interviewer is expressing themselves, the more rapport you're building inside that room. And the closer and closer you're getting to that actual opportunity. Because they're disclosing themselves to you. They're trying to win you over. That's why they're telling you these things. The conversation is no longer about you and what your background is. It's about me. I'm the interviewer. This is my company. This is what I do. And I want you on my team. So I'm going to tell you everything I need to in order to convince you that you want to come work for me. And it's that simple. Then 5 minutes of reviewing the interview profiles. If you're lucky enough, if you're working with a talented HR department, they're going to tell you who the hiring manager is. They're going to tell you who you're going to meet with at every single round. Go on LinkedIn and find them. Connect with them. You have nothing to lose. If anything, what I want you to take from it is look at what their faces are. It was so powerful to be able to walk into a room, know exactly who you're meeting with. Hi, Esther, my name is Luis Perez, how are you? If Esther doesn't know my name, she's shitting herself. Whoa, I'm sorry, I wasn't told who you are. Yeah, we're supposed to be interviewing today for the analyst opportunity. It's nice to meet you, nice to formally meet you. But if I can pick you out in the room, you know I did my homework. I'm sharp and I'm prepared, I'm ready. And that's a competitive advantage over everyone, because all the other kids are walking in, they're like, hi sir, my name is John, how are you? That doesn't sell. That doesn't win. Winners are forward. Winners are direct. And that's what I need you to be. 10 minutes covering questions relative to technical skill sets. Listen, I'm not a professor. I'm not here to tell you how to be an analyst. I'm not here to tell you how to be an accountant. I'm not here to tell you how marketing campaigns work. You either know that or you don't. I can tell you that I've placed a 2.8 GPA graduate out of a private school in the Northeast placed him at a job, got him $45,000 starting salary with a 2.8 GPA. So the GPA doesn't even really matter that much. It really doesn't. But you just need to know what you're going to talk about when you go into that room. If it's debits and credits, you know your debits and credits. If it's analysis, if it's covering strategy, talking about the market, capital markets, debt markets, bond yields, know your shit. Because no one's here to waste time. You have to come ready. You have to be prepared to cover all your subjects. Next, apply the arrive by function on Google. Jesus Christ, will this save babies? This is going to save lives right here. What you want to know is what the traffic is going to look like the day of, at the hour of, so you can plan ahead. If you weren't showing up 15 minutes early, well, I'll tell you what, you just better never show up late. If you show up late, just enter this thought process for a second. I am an executive. I have so much money. I've run this awesome company. I'm making time to give you, this little hotshot out of college that has zero going for yourself other than a degree, an opportunity in my company. I make over $100 an hour. I just put everything on hold to meet you. And you can't show up at the right time? Like, are you shitting me? Is that even a thing? Is that ever an option? It shouldn't have. It shouldn't have been. That sounds ridiculous. I make over $100 an hour. I'm giving you a free hour. And you're going to show up late? And you still think you have a shot? That's funny. Go tell your friends about that. I can tell you what, it's not going to fly. We are business professionals. Everything we do is calculated down to damn decimal points. It's for a reason. So much shit's going on. So as soon as you start wasting my time, making me have to wait for you like you mean something, you don't mean shit. You're not my clients. I can find undergrads all over the country. So if I've given you an opportunity, I want you to crush that opportunity. I hope you can feel the tone in my voice right now, because that's how serious I am about this. You show up on time or you show up early, but if you show up late, get the hell out of my office. I'm not wasting my time with your shit. I'd rather find someone who's punctual, because if you're gonna do this shit to me now before I'm even paying you, imagine what's gonna happen when I have millions of dollars at risk on your word and what you think is right and what you think is wrong. I already don't like you. Get the hell out of here. Pre-select interview attire, I'm of the belief that if you look good, you feel good, so you definitely always want to have everything dry cleaned. Try to keep it as conservative as possible. You never want to be too out there. This is not the time to show off your favorite prom tie. I'm not giving you my killer floral purple shirt. If you have a purple tie, that's cool. I like all three of you have purple ties. I go for red, that's just me. But come well dressed. Come well presented. You don't want to have a bunch of lint. That shouldn't be the reason that you lose out on this opportunity. That kid came in here with a wrinkled shirt. Like, unless you're like Will Smith, Pursuit of Happiness, and like someone ran over your kid or who knows what, like, you really have no excuses not be well dressed. Cool? And then the interview commandments, real quick. Wear a business suit, navy or gray. If you're wearing black, that's okay. I wouldn't encourage you to wear black. I wear black to funerals. But if you're wearing black, you're wearing black. If nothing else, I'll tell you wear a white collar. This is white collar America, and if I'm the first person to tell you that, there's a serious problem in the school business. Do not smoke prior to the event. I know some of you have urges. Nicotine addiction is something serious in our society. I don't smoke cigarettes. It's not my style. But if it is your style, please, for the love of God, hold off. Because what if we're interviewing in a small 10 by 10 room, I have a sinus problem, and now I'm stuck in there smelling your odor? I hate you by the end of that meeting. Hell, it could be Givenchy. It could be Gucci. It could be Versace. Amazing. I'm sure you love it. But I hate it. Don't wear it. Listen, you are vanilla. You are not on one side of the fence or the other. You're just here. Let them judge you for what you know, the talent that you have, what you bring to the table, not what you decide to wear that day, and not your favorite cologne or perfume. Ladies, seriously though, leave that shit at home. In a greeting, start with a smile. I think I've already addressed that pretty hard, but I will keep coming back to it because if you aren't smiling when you talk to me, there's a problem. You have nothing going for yourself. You're trying to win over the opportunity. Just imagine that whenever you guys are out trying to make relationships, you're at a bar. No one walks up to you, "Hi, my name is Luis Perez. It looks like a really cool drink. Can I get you your next whiskey?" That's not cool. That's not going to win anybody. "Hi, my name is Luis Perez. How are you doing today? What are you up to? What are you here for?" That's exciting. I'm bringing them out. I'm expressing interest in the hopes that they're going to reciprocate. And if they don't, then I'm on to the next. I already know that I can't lose. It's a matter of numbers. It's probability. And if I make enough hits, I'm going to land on something. Answers, yeses and nos. This is not the time for, well, I think maybe no. Hell no. Hell no. First, how many students in here are business majors? Damn near all of you. At one point in time, either here, then, or later, millions of dollars are going to ride on your opinion, your assumptions, your analysis. And if millions of dollars are riding on this shit, you better not look at me and say, well, we think it's going to be returned kind of like this. What do you mean kind of like this? It is or it isn't? You tell me, because I'm about to make a huge deal on this. I'm about to let millions of dollars ride on your opinion. Everything is a yes or it's a no. You be clear and you are direct. Is the market bad? Yes. Well, I think maybe, no. Yes, it's bad. It's a bad time right now. Or it's great. It's amazing. Let's invest. Let's throw money. Let's ride. We're riding this parabolic time. Everything is taking off and let's be a part of it. But be very, very clear about that. There should be passion in your voice. You should be passionate about what you're doing. Yes.
Now, what if you're not sure?
If you aren't sure. So this is kind of alluding to the, what do I say if they ask me a question I'm not ready for, right? How many of you are worried about that happening? It should be the whole damn room. That's right. Listen, when they ask you a question you aren't ready for, first things first, you smile. Then you address the fact that you don't know this shit. You know what? You're absolutely right, John. I'm sorry, I was not ready for that question. I didn't see that in the job description. I wasn't expecting us to cover that topic. However, there are all X, Y, and Z different things I could talk to you about that I did come prepared and did my homework for. Is this anything that's going to be relative to this job? Yes or no? Yes? All right, let me tell you about it. If you try to BS someone that does this for a living, you're not going to go far. It's not going to work. And you think it's being cute, it's being coy. It's not. It's just wasting time. Because I already know that you don't know what you need to know to do this job based off of the answer you're giving me. But you can always just say, you know what, you're right. I didn't cover that element. I was ready for X, Y, and Z values. I showed you, did my diligence, I did my homework, I came ready to perform, but you're asking me something that is completely out of left field and I wasn't ready for it. But I can tell you that I would be. If I knew that this was going to be a part of the test, I would have studied better. I never miss my mark. I will never represent anything that doesn't, I will never show anything that doesn't represent the quality of my work ethic. And that comes right down to my conversations. I'm investing time and energy in getting ready just to meet you. Whether it's 60 minutes or 2 hours doesn't make a difference to me. It's about meeting you, being present for the opportunity, having the ability to influence another. Can't do that without being present. Turn off your cell phones. Okay, so is anyone here of a foreign background? I'm Venezuelan. So I don't know about you guys, my mom likes to call me 15 times straight if I don't answer the phone. And that could be hella awkward if you're in the middle of an interview. And I would know from experience because it's happened and it's cost me a job. And when I get on the phone, Mom, what do you want? Well, we're at Publix, do you want chicken or beef? I don't care, I need a job! Jesus Christ! But seriously, just turn off the phone entirely. You don't want vibrating to cost you the opportunity. That would suck ass, wouldn't it? It's like, Mom, I was about to make 85 grand at JP Morgan and I got to settle for 60 at Bessemer, damn it. Just because you left the phone ringing. Well, turn the phone off entirely. Silence that thing. You don't need it in this meeting anyhow. And there's nothing, no message is going to come in there during those 60 minutes that's important enough for you to not want to keep talking to the person who's giving you an opportunity. That's a fact. Apply the STAR principle. How many of you here have ever heard of the STAR principle? Hands? In the back?
I can't remember what it is.
Kenzie? That's fine. No, bring it home. There you go. So, situation, task, action, result. I want you to apply this every single time you are ever interviewing. And they ask you for your strength. This is how you let it ride. Here's the kicker. Action can be substituted for your strength or your weakness. In applying this format, this simple 4-step format, this should literally take you 6 sentences, 6 to 8 sentences. It should not be longer than that. 1 to 2 sentences for every bullet. And you will deliver the most concise, the most compelling, the most well-formatted strength the world has ever heard. And it's not my assumption, it's not my opinion. They teach the STAR principle at every single MBA program, from here up to Maine. This is how you deliver an answer. This is how you deliver a response. So let's give it to an effect. Let's put it into effect, right? Give you an example, because if I just talk about it, then I'm no better than the textbook. How many of you here are going to be in accounting? Anyone? 3, 4, 5, 4? Okay, fine. How many of you are going to be in finance? A lot more of you are going to be in finance. All right, cool. So let's pretend that I'm going to global asset management in JP Morgan, New York, where I'm applying for $85,000 starting salary. Or maybe I already have that job and I'm presenting myself for the next job. Maybe that was my internship was working there. They're going to say, what's your greatest strength? Well, I'll say, thank you for asking. During my time at JP Morgan, one of the most well-recognized global banking brands ever, I was tasked with performing as an analyst during my internship. I can tell you that I was responsible for covering different market analysis in foreign markets because I was in global asset management. I got to see emerging markets, I got to see developing markets, I got to see it all. And every single day we would go over what's happened, what's taking place, and what are we projecting for the future. At the end of that meeting, we would then get together to deliver a project where we were selling a stock, we're giving an investment product, and we were delivering it. Now, as you can imagine, a lot of shifting responsibilities throughout the course of my day because I'm covering the markets and I'm also trying to put together a strategy to sell an investment. So I can tell you that my strength is my ability to be able to manage and balance so many different tasks. And no matter what's changing and what's happening, I'm keeping everyone involved. I'm keeping everyone engaged. I'm letting them know what's taking place. Because of which I delivered a phenomenal final project. The investment was given an okay by the board, and I'm getting presented an opportunity to work there full time. That's it. I went situation, JP Morgan, global asset management, tasks, market analysis, project, action. I'm able to handle so many different things. I can balance this workload. I'm not scared. While everyone else is worried, I get excited. I'm not nervous, I'm excited. If I'm given an opportunity, I'm going to give it 110% of who I am. And because of which I deliver an amazing presentation and I got the full-time offer at the end. That is how it works. STAR, real quick, simple. This is what I teach a CFO before they go to the interview. This is what I teach a partner before I'm trying to introduce them. I've literally recruited everything from the clerk that makes $14 an hour to right now the CFO that has a $200,000 base. And that's not really talking about a big-time CFO. That's like $30 million operating revenue type of company. But I've recruited all these roles, and I've prepared all these individuals for these interviews. Don't take this as an assumption. This is an experience. This is how I make a living. And I'm just trying to give it back to you. Because once you hold on to this, you have a competitive edge over every single entry-level candidate in America. Because over 95% of you are all giving the same exact answers with the same exact approach. This is the first time that anyone's telling you how to do it as an experienced hire, even though you have no experience. Take that and run with it. There's a lot that you can accomplish. Then post-interview, right? What happens after the interview's over? What's the first thing that we're going to do? Show of hands? Thank you email? I like thank you emails. Anything else? God bless your soul. I don't care what year we're in. That's the oldest form of communication in the world. And you know what? But it's heartfelt, it's real, it's tangible, and it's intimate. I have pretty handwriting, so I write everyone a letter after my meetings. I go out, I do BD, I send them the email, and I send them the letter. I do both. And you want to know why? Well, I shouldn't have gone to that one yet. But the reason I do it is because they're all going to receive the emails. Let's say we're having a super day and we interviewed 20 candidates. Everyone's going to pump in that same thank you email with a little blurb about what we talked about, and hopefully that brings it home. Guess what happens a week and a half down the road when my letter hits the mailbox? Who is going to be the topic of discussion in the coffee room this time around? It's not going to be the 20 students that responded to all of us. It's going to be to that student that expressed more interest than anyone else. Someone who went above and beyond. That is how you make a change. That's how you make a difference. Yes?
So you're saying that if you were in a super day, you would send emails to everybody, and then you would also follow up to everybody a handwritten note.
Yes.
Would it be only the people you connected most?
The people you interviewed with are the people that matter.
So let's say you interviewed 5 people.
5 people get letters.
Okay. Thank you.
The more personal, the better off you are. Go ahead.
How do you make sure they get the letters?
There's no way you can really confirm. It either works or it doesn't. But this is the thing, you know for a fact that you're writing that email right. They're going to get that. The letter's going to make it there. It's just going to take a little longer. But that could be what pushes you over the edge when they're trying to make a final decision between you and someone else. Because here's this student giving me the letter, writing me everything, calling me, following up with me. And this student just came to the interview, never got back to me. Who do you think I like more? The person who's obviously expressing interest. It's a game of interest, and the more you express, the closer you are to victory. It's really that simple. Who's ever expressing interest in you, you should want to be interested in them, or at least know why the hell they're so interested in you. Take that idea and run with it. Next is a follow-up call. You know, if I sent the email, I sent the letter, it's been 2 weeks, no response, calling you. How many of you are nervous about making this phone call?
Are you worried about, coming off as desperate or needy?
No. Hi, John, this is Luis Perez. We interviewed 2 weeks ago. I haven't heard back. I wanted to know if JP Morgan is still considering my candidacy. And why are you asking? Well, right now I'm interviewing Morgan Stanley, the Lehman Brothers, and a few other of your competitors. I just want to know what offer is coming in first. I'm not desperate. I have everything. I just want to know. I just want to know for what it is. Perception is reality. You give them the perception that you're desperate, you're desperate. You give them the perception that you know what you're worth and you're working for something, and you have a purpose, they're going to respect the hell out of that. And then you should be getting a job offer. That's the wonderful part, right? We crossed all our T's, we dotted all of our I's, we got the offer letter, check is coming in the mail, it's going to be on the way. But how many of you are concerned about negotiating that salary, or what you're going to say when they ask you how much you want to earn? You? Go ahead. What do you think? What are you going to do? What would you say? I love you. This is wonderful. We like your background. You're so talented. You're involved in school. You're a part of student organizations. Please suggest how much you're looking for in a starting salary. Anyone? Yes.
A little higher than what you actually want.
Nope. I'm telling you that this is your first offer letter. You have nothing else. Go ahead.
Do you ask what they suggest?
Huh?
Do you ask what they suggest, and when they respond, do you then negotiate?
You do, but not in that direction. See, that's too bland. There's no color in there. There's no passion. There's no intimacy. How much you guys offering? That's crap. That's nothing. That's not compelling enough. So let's make it compelling. Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say you can research what other companies offer for similar positions and do something.
No, it's going to piss everyone off.
Okay.
You want to know why? Because the majority of the hiring managers are like baby boomers. And they weren't around when Glassdoor existed, when all this other shit was happening. They don't care about what the competition is paying. They know what their budget has. So that is an educated guess, and I'm not going to fault you for it. I do always respect confidence, but that's not good enough. So, yes?
What do you think I'm worth?
I like how you put the ball back in their court, but I'm going to take it one step further. Well, John, I'm humbled that you would ask how much I'm looking to earn. To be quite honest, I have a lot of respect for your institution. I felt like I built a lot of rapport with your team throughout this interview process, and I'm confident you're going to offer me a fair compensation. I'm here for the opportunity. There's no dollar figure. There's no title associated with that. I'm here for the opportunity. If they're going to lowball you, let them lowball you. Let that happen, because you can always counter, reject, or accept. It's your choice. But if you didn't get the offer, then you got nothing. Go ahead.
You say, I'm here because I made my rapport with your company, and then you counter. Doesn't that come off like?
It's going to depend on why you counter. You have to have an explanation ready for that. If they tell you 50 and then you say 60, I want to know why 60 matters so much. If you're saying, oh, that's what Glassdoor says, or that's what your competitors are paying, that's not good enough. I could Google that shit and find it out on my own. That doesn't impress me. I know I'm underpaying the market. How about that? A lot of global brands underpay the hell out of the market. And they do it on purpose because their brands are so attractive, people want to work there anyways. But again, be here for the opportunity. I built so much rapport. I have so much respect for your institution. I'm only here for the opportunity. They will have nothing bad to say about you. They will respect that you are hungry, you are driven, and you really care. You aren't just here for a paycheck. I can't tell you the number of times that I've helped set up people for interviews and the feedback comes, oh, they were just looking for another job. I wasn't too impressed. To be compelling, it needs to come from the heart. You have to be passionate. You have to show them how much it matters. So when they say, well, here's 50, I need 60. And they're going to say, why? Be like, well, you know what, John? I hope you don't take offense to this. But I went to private school. And my parents don't take care of me. When I graduate, I have student debt. I have bills that I have to pay, and no one is there to catch me. When I'm asking for $60,000, it's not because I just want to see a 6 in front of that 0. I'm asking for $60,000 because this is what I need to maintain the quality of my lifestyle. I need to start paying the lease on my car, or I need to start paying a mortgage. And this figure is just not going to make it for me. Is there any way we can get closer to this figure? And if they say no, that's the offer, be like, okay, well, I accept the offer. Can I have 2 weeks to give you an answer? Because guess what happens next? What would happen next? You just got lowballed by an employer. What are you doing next?
Shopping it around.
Hell yeah, you're shopping it around. Because then I'm going to go into the next interview. I'm going to give them the same spiel. I'm here for the institution. I'm here for the opportunity. If this is great, give me the offer. Oh, this is $50,000. Well, what do you mean, oh, it's $50,000? Well, your competitors down the street were offering you $50,000 and 2 more weeks of PTO. Is there any way you can meet or beat this offer? Again, I hope you don't think that I'm like just trying to market this around. I'm not trying to nickel and dime you, but again, I'm just a student. When I graduate, I'm alone. I need this money to be able to maintain my payments. Otherwise, I got to move to another side of town. I got to get rid of my car. I need this. And this is why. I'm giving you the business case. I'm not telling you what I need. I'm telling you why I need it. That is a difference maker in interview rooms. Leading with why. Always lead with why. Bam! So, as for grad school, I'm sure a lot of you are considering the MBA. I can tell you the MBA is very valuable. It's a very strong resource. One hell of a networking tool. Because if you get into an MBA program, you're going to meet amazing people with amazing backgrounds. That could probably help you in the near future. But it is very costly. And if you're going to do grad school, make sure you do grad school with a purpose. If you say that you're just going to get this degree because it seems cool and you feel you're going to learn something, like, you might as well just throw $150,000 at lottery tickets. Without a purpose, without a reason, without a direction, you're burning time and money. And time is more valuable than money, I can tell you that much. Because time we can't get back. I can earn another dollar. I can't rewind the day. If you're going to do the MBA, make sure you have a reason and a purpose behind it and see the consequences that follow, because you could be overqualifying yourself for opportunities. I had a student, I had a candidate that graduated at this fine university in biology. Their aim was to be a doctor. Brilliant individual. Smart as all hell, charismatic, outgoing, good-looking guy, green eyes, everything. He's got it going for himself. But then he decided, I don't want to be a doctor, I want to be a businessman. He applied for business school. He went to MBA, one of the top 15 MBA programs in the entire God-given country. The average graduating salary there is $98,000. He graduated there and he came to me, he's like, yo, Lewis, I'm interested in an opportunity. I was like, you know what? Let me try and connect you with some private banks because I know that they're going to value you. I think you're a great guy. Every bank I went to, he's overqualified. Excuse me? He has no experience. He's overqualified. We don't like bringing on MBAs. They think they know it all. Not saying that they do or they don't. But that is the word on the street. So do what you can with your undergrad. Really push the limits there. Run with your undergrad degree. Give yourself 2 to 3 years worth of experience, at least, in my opinion. Then go back. Because when you get the MBA, you're going to have the opportunity to pivot, develop another technical skill, or get a raise for your current job. It'll amplify your standing position. But note, that's after you've had experience, after you know where it's going to be applied, after you know what you're going to do with that degree. If you just run with it, you could be costing yourself a lot of opportunities, time, and money again. As far as technical skills are concerned, in the world of business, I can tell you that these are your data manipulation skills. Data manipulation skills. VLOOKUP, HLOOKUP, and pivot table. That's it. It doesn't really get more complex than this unless you want to be a business analyst, you want to be responsible for integrating software. That's a whole nother show. We got SQL, Tableau, and VBA. That's coding. That's taking reports to a whole nother level, but you don't need to be there if you don't want to. I can tell you the pivot tables, VLOOKUPs, and HLOOKUPs have been holding it down real nice for a long time, and it's not going to change. Critical advice. I know there's a lot of things that I've hit you guys with in these last 50 minutes to an hour. I don't really know how long I've been running, but I feel really good about it. Critical advice. You are never, ever going to quit a job until you have signed your offer letter, delivered it, and received confirmation it was accepted. Signing an offer letter and sending it in, that shit's not good enough. You don't give your 2 weeks notice until it's been confirmed. Imagine how stupid you would feel. Because there's no other way to put this. Stupid. If you were to turn your 2 weeks notice, you submit your application, you submit your offer letter, it's signed, everything's great, goes back to budget. Budget says that we're over budget and we can't bring you on anymore. Oh, I'm sorry, I got to retract this offer. I just told my boss I'm not working here anymore, and now I'm shit out of luck with nothing going for me. Don't play around with your career. I don't give a shit what the hell is going on in that office. Unless you're being raped, someone's literally sexually harassing you or hurting you directly, you aren't quitting. I don't give a shit that you have all-nighters. I don't care how hard it is. When that happens, guess what? Now I'm calling in sick, and I'm interviewing every goddamn day I can. But if you quit because you think that you're going to have more time to find an opportunity, you are naive and you are foolish. You'd be lucky to have another opportunity. Because while you have a job, you're talented, you're valuable. Someone's already paying you. I have to win you over. I have to poach you. That's where the term comes from. But if you have nothing going for yourself, why the hell am I going to invest in you? It makes no sense. Never quit. And you can't negotiate without leverage. So that just brought me back to when you have 2 offer letters. Once you have the first one, now you have leverage. You can go into that next room and you could demand more money because you already have your market value defined by a piece of paper that was signed and notarized by another employer. This isn't my impression. This isn't what I think I'm worth. This is what your competitors think I'm worth. Do you think any different? Do you value me any differently? Thank you. All that said, hope you enjoyed the show. This is Jaime Lewis.